I love attracting agents. Okay, I love building a network.
Trying to figure out like who Celeste is.
You need to love yourself first. My goal was to fire myself immediately. That's just who I am. I don't follow the crowd.
How can someone on a budget still dress like a boss?
The first time we met, right, you liked that suit. I was
Yeah.
not supposed to wear that suit that day.
You know what? Stop. Just own who you are. Hi, my name is Celeste Moore. If you don't know me, I'm a certified image consultant, and I help entrepreneurs, influencers, and speakers really discover and master their own unique style so that they can command presence in any room that they walk in. Today, I'm so blessed and honored to have my really good friend, Joseph Magsaysay, here with me today. He flew in all the way from San Francisco. Let's dive into what we're going to get into. Thank you, Joseph, for being here.
No, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure for me to be here in Austin, and I have not been here in forever. So thank you so much for the invite, and it's an honor.
Anytime. You know, you're my first guest who's flown in to Austin for me, so I feel honored.
I
Truly.
feel special. I feel so special. Who would not fly for you?
You are. I mean, let's just chat a little bit about the audience. We met each other at a really good friend of ours, Arjun Dhingra, and he had a LFG society. Was it
Yes.
was it like an event he had?
LFG Energy Society event. Yeah.
Yes, and let me tell you, that event was phenomenal. But I walked in the door and I saw this man dressed in like this beautiful suit, especially for San Francisco. And you can get into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I was really instantly drawn to you. And you just like pointed your finger at me and you just was like, I got to talk to you.
Yes.
Because I was also wearing a custom jacket.
Exactly. That beautiful red
Yeah.
jacket, right?
Yes.
Yes, it was red.
Yeah.
And I noticed you immediately because you were looking at me, and it's like, lady in red. Who are you? I need to talk to you. You're not from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the magic started from there, and yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up chatting about, you know, Joseph has like dabbled over the years. I'll let him talk about it into fashion and suiting. But first, I want to ask a question because I think it's really interesting to I'm sure the audience wants to know.
Yeah.
But so you just joined Ryan Serhant's team,
Yes.
his powerhouse team.
Yes.
How did that opportunity come about? And what was your first move once you landed it?
That is a very, very good question. So the Ryan Serhant opportunity, I always say that I accidentally manifest things. Let's start with that, right? And first of all, you know, moving here from Philippines to America, Philippines to Missouri, that was never planned. Moving from Missouri to California, that was never planned. And venturing now from California to New York, that was never in the books, right? That was never in the plan. So I guess I have a habit of accidentally manifesting things, and there was an opportunity, and it presented itself. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, I don't believe in accidents, especially with manifestation. But I think what I really want to like get into a little bit more is how did somebody have the presence and the wherewith to have Ryan or Ryan's team actually like notice you?
Let's just say when I was doing the business in real estate, the very first thing that I did was surrounded myself with all of the powerhouses in the industry, right? I will never forget this. There is this real estate conference. It's called Inman Connect.
Okay.
I call it the Super Bowl and Oscars of all real estate conferences. And year 2 of my business, a good friend of mine said, Joseph, someone like you needs to attend this event in New York. And I said, oh, small town, Missouri, because I lived in Missouri back then. I said, no, I can't afford this. It's so expensive. Actually, I stand corrected. It was in San Francisco back then. And I asked my ex-wife back then, and I said, hey, I really want to attend this conference. And she asked how much the registration was. And I said, a couple of thousands. And she said, no, it's not worth it. And then, however, deep down, I said, I'm attending this conference not to attend the conference. I'm attending this conference because of the people who are attending the conference. In the world of real estate, you always talk the exact same thing, right? It's always the exact same topic, always the exact same problems, always the exact same solutions. But at the end of the day, what matters and what differs are the people who attend the event. So I've always been stubborn. I never listened to anybody. So I said, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to attend this event. So that's what I did. And when I attended my very first Inman Connect, I met all of the rock stars who are surrounding my real estate life right now, and they're very good friends. And then from Inman Connect San Francisco, I attended Inman Connect New York, and then Inman Connect Las Vegas. And the next thing I know, I was asked to be an ambassador for Inman Connect. So that's how I met Ryan Serhant at one of the Inman Connects in New York. And then ever since, oh my God, he's my idol. He's amazing. I started following him.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, when I moved from Missouri to California, also through Arjun, our good friend Arjun Dingra, he had an event in San Francisco, November of 2023. And he invited Ryan Serhant. And I literally just moved there. And then I attended that event. Ryan was like, it's you again, the ambassador guy, the Inman guy. But one of the best things that happened during that event in November of 2023, I met Kat Torrey. You know, Kat Torrey,
Yes.
she's an amazing branding specialist, marketing specialist. She's amazing, so I met her and she's also part of Serhant.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Wait, is she in real estate?
She is. You can say that she's in real estate because she helps realtors with their branding.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to talk to her. And I did listen to that podcast. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's amazing. She's like a sister to me.
She has great energy too. I mean, Arjun doesn't hang around with anyone that doesn't have good energy. So,
Yes.
I love that man. But so when did that first event in San Francisco happen for you? Like, what year was that?
This was year 2016.
Okay. So 2016, fast forward to, was it just this year, 2025?
2025,
right?
yes.
Yeah. And all this time, you're manifesting, like, first you I love this man, whatever he's doing, I want to be around him.
I want to be around him, yes. Because my previous job before Serhant is I love attracting agents. Okay, I love building a network, right? However, when I got my license 10 years ago, or 11 years ago to be exact, my goal was to fire myself immediately. Once I venture into a business, I'm already looking for an exit strategy. I told myself there is no way that I'll be selling real estate for more than 10 years. So I gave myself a deadline. So when I left St. Louis, Missouri, I said, that's it. I'm no longer going to be in production. I've always wanted to be in leadership. Okay. And then, so I joined my previous company. That was my role until I said, I unretired for 1 year because I wanted to experience selling in California, selling in San Francisco. So I sold real estate in San Francisco. My license is still active, actually, and I will never lose my license.
Okay.
I have 2 licenses, Missouri and California. I will never lose those licenses. And but yeah, it was fun selling real estate in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But now I'm focused in leadership and focused on helping Serhant be one of the best real estate companies in the world. It's already the most followed brand in real estate in the world. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. Okay. So my audience loves to take away like tips. Are probably like, how did he do that? What's 3 things that you can say were the catalyst to maybe just working with Ryan or just being accepted on his elite team? I mean, what could you say? I know there was probably a lot, but if you could give the audience, say, like, someone's out there and they want to do what you did, what are 3 things that you can give tips to them so that they can actually really hit the mark with what they want to do?
Yeah. So basically, this is basically brand agnostic, whichever industry you're in, right?
Okay.
At the end of the day, you need to have, number one, confidence. You need to believe in yourself first. Okay. You need to love yourself first because no one's going to love you better or no one's going to believe in you better than yourself. Once those two loses, you're done. Just forget about it. Why even live? Why even live life? If you do not believe in yourself, if you don't love yourself,
Yeah.
why even live life? Right? Those are the two things that's very important to me. And then the two C's in life too, choices and consequences. Okay, I always believe that the story of life is the consequences of the choices that we make. So I always focus on that. And so, for example, when we met, and then you invited me, Joseph, I would love you to be a guest on my podcast.
Mhm.
I had an option to say no, and I had a choice to say yes. I'm glad I said yes because the consequence was a very beautiful friendship. Right? Then I got to know you better. We get to talk on the phone. We get to know each other's stories, things like that. So, and number three, also, one of the things is what's important is energy. You just need to have the right energy. Do not apologize for being you. I'm unapologetically me. Missouri did not know how to treat me because I was loud, proud, and brown. I have just like, who is this? Like, who is this guy? Right? And just imagine when you live in a small town and you have a personality like me in real estate, you'll have a big target. Like, who the heck is this guy? Where did he come from? Right? But good thing I have a very thick skin. Also, that's another thing that you need to have, a very thick skin. Because when I started real estate, so the first person who told me that I was going to fail in this business was my ex-wife. And then other realtors said, Joseph, it's going to be slow for you to really be successful because you're new in the business. You're not from here. And then from then on, I told myself, you know what? This is going to be the law of the jungle. And I'm the lion. I dictate my fate here. So how really bad do you want to be successful? That's the only question you need to ask yourself. Do I really want to be mediocre or do I really want to be one of the best?
Right. But yes, I love all of that because those are really key pieces to, the confidence, the
Yeah.
purpose, the passion, and being seen.
Yes.
But part of the way that you were seen was by your attire. Talk about that a little bit more.
Yes. Oh my God. So believe it or not, okay, so I always share this story because I used to be a meatball.
What does the meatball mean?
So I couldn't wear a turtleneck because there was no neck. It was just the turtle. I was like 95 pounds
Okay.
heavier. So when the pandemic happened, I told myself I would never utter the words COVID weight. I'm never gonna utter that, okay? Because I already saw it coming. People would blame that they gained weight because of COVID, and I wanted to do the exact opposite thing, okay? Because that's just who I am. I don't follow the crowd. I always march to the beat of my own drum. So I changed my lifestyle, and interestingly enough, when I made that decision, I was with my son Gino. Thanksgiving of 2019, we celebrated it here in Austin because every Thanksgiving, Gino and I, my son, he's 13 now, we fly somewhere. Okay, we celebrated, we venture in other cities, and we just got back. We just landed in St. Louis, and I was rushing to the mall for Black Friday. I was like literally on my way to Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus, and then there was this small kiosk of Lifetime Fitness. Is there a Lifetime Fitness over here?
Yes.
Okay. And then I inquired about it and they said, hey, we want you to be a founding member. And then I said, okay, what are the fees? I said, wow, this is expensive. I said, this is expensive, but you know what? I'm going to do it because it's going to force me to do it. It's going to force me to wake up every single day because now I have skin in the game. I don't want to waste my money. And I started waking up at 4 a.m. During that time, I think I weighed 215 pounds. Started waking up 4 a.m. and then worked out from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I did it the wrong way. I was so focused on cardio, until I dated my ex-girlfriend. She was a nutritionist. She's a nutritionist. And she said, babe, you need to start lifting. I said, shoot, I need to focus on protein. So I started lifting chopsticks. But it's in my genes. I don't have that much muscles, but that was the story there. And because of that, when I lost weight, when I became healthier, I became confident. I said, let me try on some suits. And then there was this guy in St. Louis who approached me and said, Joseph, someone like you needs to have their own custom suit. But I just moved in St. Louis and in a specific town in St. Louis that I want to target. And I told him, you know what? I'm not that. I just moved here and I can't afford you yet, but reach out to me after 2 years. I'll be one of the top realtors in this area. The good thing about this guy is that he did not wait for 2 years. He waited for 2 weeks and we became best friends. And then I asked him, hey, when is the next big event in St. Louis?
Mm-hmm.
He said, Mayor's Ball. I said, measure me. So when he measured me, I said, what's the equivalent of this one? If you do it small, medium, large, extra large. He said, double XL. I said, okay, make something for medium. And then, Joseph, this is expensive. Yes, make something for medium. That was October. And then the event was February. And then fast forward to February, I got the suit. It was a little loose. Now the medium became medium.
Medium.
So yeah, so that was the beginning of my obsession in dressing the part and looking the part, because for me it's a sign of respect. So, for example, when I go out on dates, right, and when women tell me, "Wow, you're overdressed," this is in San Francisco. In St. Louis, you're overdressed. And I said, this is how I respect you.
Mm-hmm.
When I respect someone, I dress to kill, It's not like dress to impress, but I want to show you that I respect you, that I value your time. And this is the reason why I'm dressed like this. And then, of course, they're going to say, well, you're always dressed like this because we see your social media. Because when I meet my clients, I respect my clients too. I respect myself. I respect my business. So every single day, the most basic thing that you need to do the moment you wake up is show up. And we have different ways in showing up. And this is my way of showing up.
I love that story. I love how you took me through your first custom suiting experience to,
yes.
Let's fast forward now to being the brand
Vice President of Business Development.
Okay, it keeps changing. So,
I know.
Okay. Of Vestium.
Of Vestium, New York.
Vestium.
Oh, wow. That was, again, I accidentally manifest things, right? And, that was amazing. That was an amazing opportunity. So I met Ksenia through Instagram. She basically sent me a very
Vestium's as a custom suiting company as well. Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
Custom suiting company based in New York. And she just randomly followed me or saw me on Instagram and sent me a message.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she's Ukrainian. And when I moved to San Francisco, majority of my friends were Russians and Ukrainians, and there still are. That's my crowd in San Francisco for some reason. That's why when she reached out to me, she said, "Oh my God, another Russian in my life, another Ukrainian in my life," because I love Russians and Ukrainians. They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so she sent me this message saying, "I really love your style, and I see that you're in San Francisco. It's not every day that I see someone in San Francisco who dresses like you." So the funny thing was, Emily, I'm sure you saw her on my social media.
Yes.
She said, "Joseph, look at Ksenia's page. She's running a raffle. She's doing a raffle." I said, "What raffle?" So long story short, I joined the raffle and then I won a sport coat, like a bespoke, a made-to-measure sport coat. And she gave me a call and said, "Hey, we can do this fitting. We can do a virtual fitting."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Ksenia, I've never won anything in my life. I'm flying to you," because that's how I do. If I'm really serious about when I'm grateful for someone, when I'm grateful with someone, and I want to do something special, if I see that there's a relationship, whether it's business or personal or friendship, I fly to them because I would never do business with you until I shake your hands. That's just who I am as a person. So I told her, look, I'm starting a new job in New York. This is the perfect storm. I can meet you before I shoot my announcement video. That's why that day was crazy. The first time we met, I met with her first. It was raining, and then I needed to shoot my announcement video for Serhant. I'm sure you saw that.
Yes.
I was holding the umbrella, and it was my first time using an umbrella.
It doesn't rain in San Francisco?
It rains, but I do not use an umbrella.
Okay.
But that perfect timing was just beyond, because I don't usually when I make announcements, I talk. And I said, you know what? I'm going to let Sinatra do the talking for this announcement. So
that was a great announcement, by the way.
Yes. Just start spreading the news. That's what Sinatra did, right? And then now going back to Ksenia. So that's how we met. Just like you and I, we really liked each other, and we became good friends. And then for some reason, during that time that I was in New York, I was just finished. I just got done with my happy hour. I was walking on Fifth Avenue and Madison, and there was this beautiful woman who approached me, and I was wearing my other green suit. And she said, that is a very well done made-to-measure suit. And then I said, why? Thank you. Thank you so much. And then the husband showed up. I said, babe, that is a beautiful suit. So we ended up talking on the street for like 20 minutes. And then the wife said, you know what? Let's just have dinner. We'll invite you for dinner. And I was so hammered. I just left the happy hour. I said, yes, let's do that. So they got all my information. I said, did I just give a stranger my contact information and I'm having dinner with these two strangers? Yeah. So long story short, I showed up at the dinner. It's a beautiful place. And they offered me an opportunity to partner with them to help them grow their business in New York. It's also a made-to-measure company.
Wow.
And they're very well known all over the world. I'm going to share with you later. I cannot share it here. But they're very well known all over the world. And then this is my loyalty to Ksenia. I told them that I'm already working with an amazing company based here in New York. It's called Vestium New York. If you really want to work with me, then you need to invest in our company since you're very big. And then how would that look like? I said, just think of this like you're Nike and we'll be your brand Jordan. That is the worst analogy that I told them, but they got it.
Yeah.
So we kept in touch and we're still talking. And then that's when Ksenia realized, I guess, that, you know what? I want to hire you as my business development manager. He spoke with her investors and everything. Everyone was great. They're all amazing at Vestium. And as a matter of fact, I also flew to LA this past weekend because they had the trunk show in LA. They just expanded in LA. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to go meet Ksenia because after you guys spoke, she started, what do you call it? Just like binging on my social media. And so she reached out to me and was like, have you met Joseph in real? Or like in person? Yeah. And I'm like, yes. She hadn't met you yet at that moment.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking. And I think she really is looking for ambassadors, right?
Yes.
And I'm in that space. I work with celebrity suit designers in New York. And I'm always looking to see other designers, what are they up to? How can they best serve my clients and myself, of course?
Yes.
And it was interesting because the more she texted me after or sent me an email and she was like, oh, I think there's much more to what you do to collab with this. Like, I want to start implementing the color analysis, like do my colors when I'm going to make you a jacket. Like she was just really excited because the one thing that I do is really the color analysis is the first step is your personality DNA. So it's really understanding who you are as an individual. Mm-hmm. And that's tied to your style type as well. And so like learning those pieces when you actually create a custom suit, it's so much more meaningful because it's not only your colors, your style. I know you love double-breasted, but it's like some people don't know what they like or what looks good on their body type, right?
Yes.
And that's really important. Not to say that the people that make the suits don't have that ability,
Yeah.
but it's so much more in depth. So we work together in creating the suits strategically based on your like professional goals. And
Yeah.
so so I'm excited to go meet with her next month.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a client to her so that we can kind of, like try it out because I've worked with other people and I just want to like explore. I feel like she has a lot of great pieces and I like her ethics. So
Yes. Yes. I mean, the one thing that I loved about Vestium and
Mhm.
Ksenia is that they have this, you just know, right? When you see someone, you know their aura,
Mhm.
you just know that they're not common. And you and I, we value those kinds of things, right? Because we don't follow the crowd. And I love what you do as well when it comes to the your colors, right?
Mhm.
Because when you texted me and I said, Celeste, I wear all kinds of colors.
Mhm.
Like I blend in easily. And then you made this beautiful explanation and you were 100% right. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you don't know what you need until it's presented in front of you.
Yeah.
So thank you for making me realize the importance of colors. Maybe I'm just lucky because of my complexion that I can wear anything that I want to, but at the end of the day, you will always have that power color that when you wear that color, you're in that color, then it's the aura is elevated.
Right. Well, I mean, every color has an energy
Yes.
and it has a message. And so when I don't just create a suit with you, right? I am a curator, but I am strategically dialing in your brand and your message so that it like relays to your audience before you speak. And that's the power of image. And I see that with you. That's the power of style. That's the power of owning who you are authentically
Yeah.
and really just, plowing through life, like doing the things that you want to do, meeting the people, right? If you didn't wear that suit that day in New York, you never would have met that couple. They wouldn't have stopped you if you were wearing,
Yes.
let's just say Gucci, Louis, right? But
Yeah.
you had something very custom
Yes.
to you and they noticed it.
Yes. Yes. And thank you for that. A question for you though, because for some reason, the first time we met, right, you liked that suit. I was
Yeah.
not supposed to wear that suit that day
Okay.
that I was wearing, the blue one,
Uh-huh.
because I couldn't find the right pocket square. I said, oh, no. Okay, I'm just going to wear it. Good thing I wore it because you noticed me.
Uh-huh.
What if I wore something brown or tan? I'm sure you would still notice me because the energy will be the one speaking, not the suit.
Yeah. I think it's a combination.
It's a combination.
Yeah. If you had the same energy, I would still meet you, but I still would have a different viewpoint.
Yes.
Like, I know you take it seriously, what you do, how you put yourself together. You said that you respect your dates or you respect your
Yes.
client by showing up this way. But first and foremost, you respect yourself. And it's like, yes, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to show up every day. And I'm not going to give any less.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
And
100% right.
that has got you in this circle. You said you manifest, right? Everything that you do, all the energy, all the thought process has gotten to where you're at today.
And on that note, I think you and I are very similar because at the end of the day, it takes one to know one, right? There's no way you would have understood my process if you were not the exact same person. You're the same. And anyone who understands Arjun is the exact same beast as well.
Yeah.
You are a beast, my friend. You are. So you're very powerful. That's why your presence when I met you over there, of course, it's a majority of the people who attended Arjun's events were realtors. Realtors and lenders, right? The moment I saw you, I said, she's not in the business. She's not in the real estate space. I just knew it instantly because you have this aura, you have this disposition that's so different that does not scream, I'm in sales. You scream, I'm here to build relationships. I'm here to change lives, right? I'm here to leave a long-lasting impression. If we're meant to know each other, then we're meant to know each other.
Thank you for that feedback.
Yes.
Like, it's nice to hear.
Absolutely. No, because not everyone gets that. So for example, the hard part for me being me sometimes, it's like The Joseph haters will say, Joseph's such a flirt. Okay, because of the way he deliver, right? However, the Joseph lovers would say, he's such a charmer. So you have the flirt or the charmer. But I don't really care.
Exactly.
Okay, because at the end of the day, if you spoke with me,
Yeah.
and then you spoke with me again, and that's already your perception of me, that's not my problem.
Exactly.
And I don't care whatever your perception is, because that's not my problem either. So
Well, we can't control what others think about us. And I think
yeah,
when you stop worrying about that and you just focus on you, your goals, who you are, showing up
absolutely.
as your best self for your client or whatever it is that you do, like you'll attract the right people in your life. You'll attract the right clients, the right networking, the right friends, the whole thing. And at one point in my life, actually for a long time,
Mhm.
I have always been a people pleaser. And that obviously does not work for anybody because I'm constantly trying to make others happy while I'm diminishing myself.
Yeah,
And they don't respect me at the end of the day, right? So it's like, but I think, oh, I've got to give, I gotta do to make them like me or notice me.
yeah,
And I did that for a long time when I was in my 20s because I didn't understand who I was and didn't understand my value. And as I've gone through all the things in my life,
Mhm.
being a sole parent, working multiple businesses, trying to figure out like who Celeste is, just in the last like maybe 3 or 4 years have I really just been like, this is amazing. This is who I am. This is like I love showing up as me.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people out there are people pleasers.
Yes, there's a lot of them. I know this is your show, but I have a question for you.
Okay,
Okay, so
bring it on.
okay, so when did you start dressing this way? What made you realize,
Yeah.
you know what, I need to, up my game and elevate myself? When did this happen?
So I'm going to remember the youngest, I was 12. My family had moved from Washington State to Boca Raton, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
which
Beautiful.
my parents didn't have the means to move to Boca, but my grandfather lived close. And I went to school with kids, parents, everybody had Mercedes and BMWs. And I thought that was like, oh, they're rich.
Yeah.
So my mom used to take me to the mall, to this town square mall where all the big stores were. I had no idea still very young and naive to this. And I remember going into a store, picking up a pair of jeans, like beelining to a pair of jeans that I wanted, going, Mom, here, I want these. She looked at the price tag and she says, oh no, if you want these, you're going to babysit and you're going to buy them yourself. That's exactly what I did. But what the point of the story is, still to this day, every time I walk into a store, I don't look at price first. I walk to see if I like the piece,
Mm-hmm.
if it's quality. I feel the fabric. And I did that at age 12. I was drawn to quality from so young. So it's in my blood. It's always been there. My father was very much like that, even if we
Yeah.
couldn't afford, financially, but he liked the nice things. I like the nice wine, the nice dinners, the nice clothing. It makes me feel good. It's just me.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm trying to be someone or I'm trying to show off. And so strategically, I always bought things that I really loved. And if I could afford what I could at that time, I did. And the luxury space, funny enough, has always been very comfortable. Like it never felt awkward.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, why I'm a luxury image consultant because I fought
Yeah.
it for years.
Yeah.
I fought like people trying to make, again, everybody happy. Oh, I've got to have a lower price for this person, a middle price for this one. And then, okay, I'll have my expensive ones for this client. And I said, you know what? Stop. Just own who you are, love who you are, and know that it's okay to fly to Milan and Paris for clients
Yeah.
to shop or to custom, do their whole wardrobe. That is in my element.
Yes. Yes. No, and the reason why I ask you that is you answered it when you said it's in your blood, because that's what I wanted to know. Because sometimes it's either nature or nurture, right?
Mhm.
So in my case, it was more of a nurture.
Yeah.
Yours is more of the nature because it was 12 years old is still young.
Yes.
Right? I started, look, I'm 43. When was like 2019? Okay, so really started late bloomer, right? But just because there was, just because I changed my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
I always felt bad that, you know what? Even though when I see beautiful suits, I said, and then I wear them, it's not comfortable because it doesn't fit well,
Yeah.
right? And I told myself it's not the right time for me yet to wear something like that because I'm unhealthy.
Uh,
I'm not confident. Yeah, no matter how beautiful the piece is, if you're not confident wearing it, then it's gonna look bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fit is everything
Yeah.
too. It really is. And I tell a lot of my clients because we are seasonal in our weight, especially women, right? We go through
Mm-hmm.
so many, have kids, menopause, all the things. And it's like, I want you, and I talk to them to dress for your body now. Because when you actually wear clothes that fit, that feel good, that is like building that confidence, even if you gain some weight, at least you're feeling good, and then
Yeah.
it continues the trajectory of where you wanna go. Maybe you're owning that space for where you're at, you just know you'll never be that 19-year-old body again, or you're, feeling so good that you're like, "Oh, maybe I'll work out. Maybe I'll continue this," right?
Yeah.
So it's just it is that, like, mind it's at that space that you were in, but it's the mind, right?
Yes. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I love that.
So, Joseph, how can someone on a budget still dress like a boss?
That is a very good question. Okay, so when I first started, when I still could not afford the the suits that I'm wearing right now, so what I did was I shopped off season.
Mm,
So at the end of the winter, okay, everything's winter sale, and then I see all of these suits that are double XL, triple XL, and then if they're Armani's or Versace's, like 80% off, I buy them. And then I just find a very, very good tailor who knows what she does, right? But sometimes there are things that are what do you call that? That you cannot alter them
yes.
because of the pockets and everything. So I'm very sensitive with those. I make sure that the buttons that you can still adjust it, but a really good tailor, they won't adjust anything from here. They would adjust everything from here. So the top is not the problem. The pants is sometimes the issue for me because my body's not really proportioned. That's why I do custom suits, and there's only very few jeans that really fit me well because of the structure of my body, and it's I don't know, it's my genes or something, but I hide it very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my suggestion.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter which brand. Just be brand agnostic because at the end of the day, you can feel the quality.
Mhm.
There are not so well known brands out there. They go on sale, but you can still feel that there's really good quality.
Yeah,
And also the colors.
true.
The colors, now you can get away with the quality optics wise, depending on the color. As long as it's not wrinkled and everything,
Well,
you can
fabric
the
mean
fabric.
yeah,
Yes, the fabric. Yeah.
definitely.
You can get away with that.
So one way to tell if a suit is quality is it's called the hand. And you actually take the fabric in your hand and you do this. And if anything is like pilling or it looks off or it's, you know, coming apart
Yeah.
almost, you can tell like that's not good quality. Even if, like, I love how you said brand agnostic,
Agnostic, yes.
because some brands are getting cheaper and cheaper with their
Yes.
fabric. So it really is still like the quality of an item. So I love that you said that. That's such a genius like recommendation too.
Yeah, yeah. So, for example, I would rather, for example, if there's these common brands, right? They're on sale. The quality sometimes is bad, and then you go to Zara,
Mhm.
and the quality is way better, right? It just really depends. You just need to be because I'm a smart shopper.
Yeah.
Before I ventured into customs, I'm still a smart shopper right now because I never pay full price. It's the Asian in me. Uh, so I will always be a smart shopper.
So what advice would you give to the younger Joseph just arriving in St. Louis with a dream in a suitcase?
Whew. Talking to my old self. Talking to my old self. I guess the advice that I would give to my old self is, love yourself more.
Mm.
That has always been my downfall. And there's a story to this one. Actually, I was just talking to a good friend of mine when I shared this story because I'm such a giver. And when I love to the fullest, right? And she asked me, Joseph, why do you love this way? I said, because everything comes back to my mom. My mom had two failed marriages, and before she passed away, like right in front of me, all she asked me, Joseph, I want you to promise two things. I said, what is that? Treat women like a queen, whoever you're in a relationship with. Treat them like a queen and finish college. Because in the Philippines, even though if you don't have a college degree, you won't be able to land a janitorial job.
Wow.
Okay, so that was very important. Okay, so I fulfilled that promise, and then the other part, and this is the reason why I love the way I love. When I love a woman, it's like I love them to the fullest. I spoil them. I treat them like queen.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna tell my younger version of myself, back up a little bit on that one, because you need to love yourself. Because
Mm.
the old Joseph, Joseph loves the business first, okay, and then his family second. Again, this is the old Joseph I'm talking about. Business, family, and the woman that I'm with. The new Joseph is, oh shit, my therapist is gonna kill me here. The new Joseph is the woman in his life, and Gino, number one. Business is number two. And whatever love I have for myself is number three. But the right way is Joseph should be number one.
Yes, thank you.
And I recognize that. And I'm still
Okay.
working on that one,
Yeah.
right? But for me, oh man, now this is going to be a therapy session. For me is that in order for me to be happy, I need to love someone unconditionally. That's just how I'm wired. And it stems because of my love for my mom.
Mm.
Because if I do not love a woman unconditionally,
Yeah.
then I don't love myself. That's me loving myself first when I spoil a woman. So that's just,
All right.
and I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
So now the new version is woman and Gino number one, business number two, me number three. I'm working on me being number one, and then Gino and my woman number two, and business number three.
I love it. Well, thank you for being on the show today. It's such a pleasure getting to know you more and your business goals and like where you came from. Now, can you tell everybody where to find you?
You can find me in San Francisco, and you can find me on social media. I am on Facebook, Joseph Magsaysay, and I'm also on Instagram, the Joseph Magsaysay, the.joseph.magsaysay. And yeah, that's
All
the
right.
easiest way to find me.
I love it. So go check them out, guys.